Okay.
Hey, Star Trek, Twilight. Twilight we're watching today. You guys like Twilight? Twilight's pretty cool.
No.
What? What do you mean? You don't like Twilight?
Pretty bad movie.
Aha, you've fallen for the classic blunder. I'm talking about the episode.
Oh. Silly
yeah,
me.
all the episodes today are all pretty good. Twilight's, which is Earth gets all blown up. We lose more than Florida. Then North Star, which a bunch of cowboys and aliens. And Similitude, which is Tuvix but better. All the episodes today are pretty good. Also, apparently the clocks move forward or back, I'm not sure, and I didn't notice.
Yes, they moved forward an hour, and I totally didn't realise just these clocks changed automatically.
And it didn't really matter. Nothing changed.
Truly, we live in the future.
Rather, they did in America, which is why it's a difference for me.
Oh, hang on. I just got a package, apparently. So you guys do my intro for me and talk about the episodes and stuff.
Okay, so someone do Twilight. I don't know which one that is.
Netflix says, refusing to leave T'Pol behind, T'Pol behind, excuse me. Archer is struck by an anomaly, leaving his brain infected with parasites that prevent him from making new memories.
Yes, this is the episode where the weapon goes off and T'Pol is trapped in of the Enterprise. Oh, Enterprise, rather.
Yeah, she does a really bad job of it, doesn't she? Oh, like a really bad job.
Yep.
What's a really bad job?
T'Pol.
What?
She does a bad
What
job
did
of
she do
commanding the Enterprise. Oh, Enterprise, rather.
Oh, well, I mean, she does
She gets-
reasonably. I really like that she just goes full ramming speed on someone.
She gets the bad end, like, straight away.
Yeah, well, there are some time skips. It takes some, but yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Whoever
Argos,
wrote
you'll
the
be very
Netflix
proud of me.
summary.
I had some human interaction.
Oh.
The mailman was walking away, and I did that thing where you
You're
hold
like,
your hand up
"Bye."
and slightly lower your head, and you just pick up the package and leave.
I am a fellow human. Good day.
Yes.
Absolutely. We do get the first instance of shields in Enterprise. We see them being invented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to General Shran.
I thought the Read Alert episode was when the shields got invented.
No, they don't even get them by the end of the show, really. Just in this alternate timeline. We don't believe in shields.
Okay, deflectors. Whatever.
No, all we have is the
No, that
navigation
was to arm
deflector.
the weapons.
We don't get real shields in Enterprise, except in this episode. Well, alien ships have shields.
What about the
Enterprise doesn't
episode
have
where
shields.
they're like trying to contain the big tentacle monster? They have shields in that one.
Those are interior force field. I mean, like, protecting the hull of the ship.
Same thing.
It's a matter of scale, though. You can't take your ship in a bottle and say, yeah, it's basically the same thing as the HMS Enterprise.
It floats, it's the same.
Anyway, 1 minute to start.
Attach miniature
Everyone
tutor,
be
it's
queued
the
up to
same.
Twilight.
Yeah.
And Twilight is the episode thou shalt queue. And the episode you will queue shall be Twilight Enterprise.
Oh, I didn't know, but is that a secret episode? Enterprise?
Enterprise.
Oh. Secret.
It almost certainly is an episode of Star Trek called Enterprise.
Which one is it? I bet it's original
I don't
series.
think there is.
Can't watch it 'cause it's all sweaty people.
I don't think there's an episode called Enterprise. There's episodes like The Enterprise Incident.
Huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's definitely ones which involve Enterprise in the title, like yesterday's Enterprise,
Yesterday,
of course.
yeah.
Oh, very good.
Good one.
10
Does
seconds.
Voyager appear in an episode title?
Yes. Hang on, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We've had the Voyager conspiracy.
Ah,
For some reason, the show is playing through my speakers instead of my headset. What's up with that? Audio device. Headphones. Okay, there we go. Orders? My God.
10
Well,
seconds
This
later.
is the only
No.
time T'Pol gets a
Well,
Starfleet
sure.
uniform.
She
So
is part
she
of
doesn't get
Starfleet
an
now.
undershirt. Everyone else has an undershirt. What? T'Pol just put on the jacket.
She took the Archer jacket.
Captain's prerogative, I
Whoa.
guess.
Is she some kind of Terran?
Now, that's exactly the same shot of it leaving as they use later on in the real timeline. Can you guess this episode's going to be retconned by the end?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
think there's
obvious, you know. So we're going to continue the series at all.
I
they
don't think they're
coulda-
just going to say, it's all right, we just put some duct tape on it before it TOS.
Fades to black. That's it.
Yeah, so we somehow fully reconstituted the Earth and all the people who lived on it before TOS.
All right, nice, happy, upbeat pop music.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Archer would feel when he just forgets the day again. He doesn't.
Yeah, he'll have a great time.
It's like,
Until he-
just another day exploring the galaxy.
Yep, well, it's destroyed. We don't have to care about going to the expanse. We can go enjoy ourselves now.
Yeah. And just chill out on this planet.
Where are you going to go to enjoy yourself? Earth is gone.
Risa, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
With what money?
Like,
They don't
go
get
to
paychecks
Risa.
anymore.
Oh, well, they didn't ever. I didn't see money being used on Risa.
I guess they have phase
They
well
trade
phase cannons.
exclusively
They could just
in
take the
Jamaron.
money. They could be pirates.
They just go around doing odd jobs, you know. They become the A-team of space.
Those Ferengi solar Horgons, you need to get them back. You can
So
actually
how about
buy
that weather?
Horgons online. Just so you know.
Okay.
You know.
How's the weather? Still there?
Yeah, the weather
Still
systems
weathering,
haven't failed
warmer
in a
than
while.
before.
It's old. Wait, let me look up a picture of old Scott Bakula.
Does it look like him? That's the question.
I expect a
did
lot
Scott-
more wrinkles.
Did Scott
Let's
get a bunch
say-
of plastic surgery? Like, that's the thing to
Honestly,
do.
it's not that far off. He's more wrinkly, but the hair looks basically the same. Except
Do you think they
this,
just?
this Scott Bakula has a bad haircut.
Yeah, he's got that. It looks a little bit Vulcan.
I feel like the hair is the easy part of the old makeup.
Well, the hair looking Vulcan is probably because he lives with
Yeah.
T'Pol, and T'Pol
He's got a
probably
Vulcan
keeps his hair.
caretaker. They done the eyebrows as well. That's a nice touch.
T'Pol looking casual? What is this?
How did they get oranges on this planet?
I assume they took some seeds on the colony ship.
Yeah, but every
then-
morning?
Growth? I don't know.
It's like Archer's got Alzheimer's, but it's a different disease.
Hang on, is that T'Pol scraping the bowl, or is that you, Soma?
That was me. Whilst I was
It was very well timed,
Okay.
though. Oh, directed by Tom Paris. Nice. T'Pol, why do you even ask? You know the answer.
Now, this is interesting. I accidentally put noodles in instead of rice, so I'm having spaghetti rather than rice.
What?
I'm having spaghetti with chicken. Well, chicken
wait,
tikka masala.
How do you accidentally put spaghetti instead of rice. How does that happen? They're very different things.
Just because I'm used to it. I had bolognese last.
What?
Didn't you have spaghetti bolognese like 5 times in the last 2 weeks?
I do.
Oh yeah.
I have had bolognese for several days.
If you make a big pot of bolognese, you know. Yeah.
All right.
It's a nice food. Also, I'm trying to burn through some oil.
Some oil.
Just a got a bigger pot, but it's not as easy to transport.
I mean, if you want to burn through some oil, just set it on fire.
So, Paul, do you want to help lift?
No, she's just gonna struggle.
You got 2 arms.
Oh, it doesn't have the best angle on it.
But she does have 3 times the strength of a human.
True.
Sometimes, if she feels like
Yeah.
it.
When convenient for the plot. Yeah.
Apparently, it's not convenient here. Now, Archer, do you want to get out of the way instead of staring? No? That's cool. This is totally his own fault. He had like a good 5 seconds to move.
He was tired from all the deadlifting he was trying to do.
Nope, no leaving, Archer. You're a prisoner now. Are you just letting him walk away, Phlox? What am I... It looks like that scan is very low resolution. Can't really see anything on it. Looks like they did a little bit of a zoom and enhance on there.
So Archer has 2 choices here. Either he believes him, or it's the ultimate gaslighting episode.
Phlox would never do that. Phlox is a good guy. Apart from the genocide he advocated for.
Archer is trusting enough of Phlox from his memories.
Oh, is that a little brandy decanter?
Saurian brandy, perhaps?
Mmm.
The actor of Phlox wanted it to be Phlox who made the decision, not Austin Archer.
On what
You
in
would have
Archer?
He wanted Phlox to just make the decision for not using the treatment as opposed to having to tell Archer about it.
Yeah, but then Archer would just put him out an airlock, probably.
Well, the reason they changed it is because the studio didn't wanted to have the main cast be more involved in it or something like that. They didn't really want to have a side character making the decisions so early on.
Did you just call
I mean,
Phlox a side character? First of all, how dare you?
Not
Phlox
me,
is
more the
amazing.
studio.
Would you characterize Phlox as a tritagonist?
What? Are you calling him a bad guy now?
No, a tritagonist. The third most important character.
Phlox is second most important on the ship.
Ah, antagonist.
Only in the genocide episode.
So this episode does get a very key thing wrong. If he can't form long-term memories, that means he's only got 5 seconds or so of memory.
That's 5 minutes.
Fair. But it
Yeah.
is to some degree, I suppose. Because your
35
true
minutes,
short-term
yeah.
memory is 5 seconds, then you suppose you do have a short, slightly
Well,
longer one.
there's working memory, and then there's the usual amnesia, like in Memento, is 5 minutes. I've actually experienced it myself, so
Isn't it kind of a
nice little bout of
range,
amnesia.
depending on what's happened to the person?
Yeah, what's the range for parasites that exist in a layer of subspace?
Yeah.
Is that a
Right.
different number of seconds?
What it gives you is really, really specific plot-based amnesia.
Well, the thing is, it can't change the functions of the brain. If it's inhibiting long-term memory, it's inhibiting long-term memory. That's that.
Or it's messing up the long-term memories after they get recorded.
Yeah. As soon as they go out of RAM and into ROM, they go bye-bye.
But that's the 5-minute figure.
You don't know how big my RAM is.
I would guess 16 gigs, that's pretty standard. Oh no, Travis is dead. Now, we're gonna see older versions of a lot of these characters. Malcolm Reed in particular, his actor these days just kind of looks like a 70s era hippie.
Quite true.
What, I don't object to. But it looks nothing like old Malcolm Reed in this episode. These are not Klingon. What? That's not a Klingon. It's a Xindi reptilian. My goodness.
Art is still performing very well.
Though I saw a picture of the Xindi insectoids in Discovery, and they look like a weird mix between the insectoids and reptilians. Was there some interbreeding going on? What happened? That's savage. Stab
Is
him
that
with
Zephyr
Zephyr
Cochrane?
Cochrane. Yeah. I mean, it's effective, I guess.
He just got cochraned.
Can do ramen move.
You
Yes.
could measure the speed of it in millicochrans, couldn't you? The speed of the stabbing.
I guess. I mean, that seems like a good strategy to me. Just ram them.
I mean, it's a little strategy, but
Worked
they
out.
seriously badly damaged the ship.
Well, it was either damage the ship or die.
Very true.
And it pretty much came out in one piece. I mean,
Well,
It's fine, just go to warp.
not missing any
Yeah.
major bits.
and yeah,
No.
the Xindi do make an appearance in Discovery Season 4, but just like as a side character briefly. They're not a real thing.
You got some new shiny crew quarters for those, Cindy, considering you've lost 13 crew.
Yes. Warp Drive? It's not called Warp Drive in Enterprise, it's the Warp Reactor trip. Oh, Jesus. It's gonna take literal years to get anywhere at Warp 1.7.
Yes. I
Ship
mean, it would
is
take
pissed
weeks
for
just to get
breaking
to the edge
ship.
of the solar system.
Rip, it's not like it was going well with Archer in command.
Oh, really?
It was always
They
going bad.
succeed.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
only
barely,
have to
by
gra-
sheer luck.
They only have to like raid that one ship, you know, the one ship.
No, what one ship? What?
They really need supplies, and they're like, "We want to trade," and the guys are like, "No, we don't have anything to trade."
Oh
So
yeah, we
Archer
could
is
just go
like,
steal someone's reactor.
"Let's just raid them. It's for a good cause."
Oh, by Earth. Alright, now are they gonna say what planet they're on? Because it's not Earth. Yep. Someone was saying, why didn't they track him? No, they did. Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
What about Terra Nova? They're kind of human still.
What about
Do they
North
count?
Star?
Phew. That's like less than
We've been
1%
down
of
that
their
far before.
population.
That's substantially how many humans do we assume are in Enterprise? What's the population?
All of them.
Okay, thank
The
you.
interior of
question.
that the interior of that house looks considerably better than the exterior.
Yeah, well, you know, make it look nice on the inside.
Ah, there it is. The 5th planet in the SETI Alpha system. Yeah, if you guys have seen The Wrath of Khan, that doesn't go so hot.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if the Zindi find them here, they're all dead anyway.
In a few hundred years, or a couple of 100 years. Well, maybe 100, I think it is.
Oh, sorry, the survivors linger on for a little while before being exterminated.
Nah, it's a different timeline now, so it wouldn't happen.
Very Battlestar Galactica
No,
here.
so it's just a general phenomenon that happens to destroy it. But they honestly don't know about it until it happens.
Until well after it happens. In fact,
Yeah.
they don't know about it so hard they arrive in the system and they didn't notice a planet was missing.
Very true.
How do you not? They were even doing a survey mission. How do you not notice?
They take a long ass time making Savol a nice character.
Yeah. Ooh, Mutara system. More
I think they
TOS
done it.
references.
I think they done it in a good way though, because the Vulcans are very antagonistic at the start, and then you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
as the whole story goes on, they start to get reasons not to be antagonistic towards humanity.
Yeah, it is nice that they do it, but it is a long time. Because
Well, Vulcans
It's a
Really
long
needs to
road,
do that.
would you say?
Yes, so I suppose you
Well-
would.
Vulcans are like that, you know, they take a long time.
Saval can feel the romance.
Just as well she doesn't, because they solved the issue here. No, it wouldn't, because this
Well,
is
I mean-
separate to that tragedy.
The
It's
only
separate to
reason
them leaving.
Phlox stays, in fact, Phlox doesn't stay ultimately, is to help Archer. Phlox could help Archer from Vulcan with more resources.
I suppose. It seems, other than this convoy, that the Vulcans have done basically nothing to defend the people of Earth.
Yeah, they don't help at all. The Xindi weapon arrives at Earth, and there's not a single Vulcan ship. There's not even Earth ships there. I don't know what happened.
Oh, did they
The only
only
people
have
who
like
show up is
5
Shran.
Earth ships at that point?
Yeah, but like there was that
Of
episode where the
course.
Klingons showed up in the solar system, and Earth's defense fleet went to go ward them off, and then the Xindi show up, and nobody's there.
So Archer specifically chose where his captain's quarters are.
So he can. Yes, exactly, Archer. Stay out of the way.
Yeah.
God, it took.
Yeah, he's like
okay.
the old sage of the village.
Are there any triangles in this fleet?
Good morning. Good morning. Is this the episode where Archer loses his memory?
Yes.
Yes.
And then they settle on SETI Alpha 5, and then they die in multiple ways. And then it's all reset.
Yeah, those reset button episodes just.
It's a really good reset button episode, though.
I mean,
And T'Pol gets a uniform.
Yeah, that's pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Though now there's no escape if the Xindi show up.
Yes. There isn't really anywhere else for them to go, though.
Because you told her, Archer. I thought that was obvious. It's like your secret code word.
Margaret Muller.
How far is it evolved? Don't worry about that.
More insistence on the T'Pol Archer plotline.
Rick, is that
I
you,
don't think
Rick?
Rick has anything. No, Rick would have taken that way further.
They
Yeah,
would
she'd
have
have like
kissed at
disrobed
minimum.
right there.
She would have started to take her top off or something. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
God, look at Phlox. He got a new haircut. He got some new threads. Very fancy.
He looks kind of
I
like he's
love-
using dark magic now instead of good magic.
He's a wizard man. Use your space magic to heal him. I like that they gave him liver spots too. His old person makeup is way better than Archer's old person makeup. Also, they say that like it's gonna be a
It's
big
your big
homecoming. He
day.
was there 20
going to
minutes ago from his
Enterprise.
perspective.
It's like first day of school.
What does old Tucker look like?
Just grey hair.
Basically the
That's it.
same. Little bit of gray. I really appreciate how in these newer shows They really lay off the old person makeup because, like in TNG, they just went crazy with it. Everyone looked like they were
Yeah.
2 feet in
Yeah.
the grave already.
Well, you have to realize
Especially with that
that
old admiral.
you have to realize that you're watching the Blu-ray of it, right? And originally it was broadcast at 240p, so it might have looked better on a TV with
Reed
scan
honestly looks
lines.
quite similar to how he looks now.
It's just Reed with beard.
No, as in to what he looks like today.
But
the mirror universe
Reed these
Reed.
days has much longer hair.
True.
This Reed
this the
would
one where-
never.
Where Reed finds out that he didn't get
Hoshi hasn't
married or
aged a
something
day.
at the end.
No, that's a different episode.
Hoshi hasn't aged a day. Yeah, that's what happens.
She's got that genetic advantage.
Yes.
Wait, no, Phlox, remove all of them at once. We can fix everything. Come on.
Yeah,
But
get
they've
in
got
the
to
tube.
test it and make sure it works first without causing damage.
It doesn't matter
So-
if it causes damage. Oh, spoiler.
So,
They
how
don't
long
know that.
has it been? How many years has it been?
It's
No.
been at least 10 years.
20 years, probably.
Don't worry about it, Archer. You're gonna forget the awkward experience later.
that is a funny idea that it's just you're 70, 80 years old and you remember your time exactly as if you were 40 still.
That's
Okay,
what
look it up.
dementia is.
It has been 12 years. 12 years.
Everyone's aged that much in 12 years?
This is
God.
literally Archer's dementia episode.
Where's Porthos? Well, it's been 12 years, so
He's a good boy.
he's still a
He's a
dog.
good boy no longer.
Oh, he's a good boy, he's just
So-
not in this plane of existence.
In the Kelvin timeline, Porthos is still alive like 100 years later.
Robotic
It's just
Porthos.
Porthos 17. Porthos
Admiral
L.
Prize Beagle. Kill him. Kill him,
yes.
Tucker.
Is this the Skag episode?
No, that's next.
Okay.
That is
Thank-
in 15
Skag.
minutes. Also, that's a slur. There's Skagarans. Thank you.
Sorry. I'm not trying to lynch anyone here.
Yeah, we're selective about our slurs here. Spoonhead is okay.
Yeah, Spoonhead, Cardi, those are fine. But they're Skagarans. Green-blooded, pointy-eared
Cardassians-
devils is acceptable for Vulcans, but not Romulans.
Cardassians kind of earned it twice over, you know?
Pink skins
They're
is
space
acceptable
Nazis.
for humans.
Yeah, the Spoon Legions.
You know, something I realized about the Andorians, because after the Zindi attack Earth, Shran comes to their help in the Expanse. So they're basically Canada helping us out, like after 9/11.
He only came to help us because he was ordered to steal the weapon.
Well, hang on. In this timeline, we learned that Shran went way further. He gave these people shield technology.
Oh wow! And their ships were much faster.
Okay, so that's what a
gave him
year
shield
Iridian ship
technology,
looks like.
but only after our entire fleet was decimated and we had like 8 ships left.
What do you mean?
Then
We
we
only
were
had
a
8
threat to
ships to begin
Andoria.
with.
Yeah, okay, you know what I mean.
We have 2
You
ships
get what I'm
left.
saying. They only gave us shield technology because we didn't pose a threat either way.
He
So-
just felt bad. He
Yeah, it's
wanted
like,
to
you know how
help.
in Civ, when you kill your enemy down to like one city, and you know they're absolutely never going to be part of the game again, you're like, hey, you go, here's some free resources.
Yeah.
Flox looks way older despite the Noblians also having longer lifetimes.
He could have been old to begin with. He's got like 5 kids and 18 wives.
Still, he's aged the same amount as everyone else, seemingly. Whilst
He has 4 wives.
still been the
right?
same 12 years.
Three
Everyone's
wives.
aged a lot for it just being 12 years.
Denobulans have 3 wives, and each wife has 3 husbands.
4 husbands.
It's been a very
3
stressful
husbands.
12 years. They've been on the road, and from the Zindi, they've been trying to exterminate
True.
them.
It's the stress. T'Pol here hasn't been stressed at all. She hasn't aged a day.
She's only 66 when
She's still alive at the time of TOS.
in our timeline. Like,
I'm not sure exactly what she's doing. We may see her in Strange New Worlds. We don't know.
I assume she's retired. I mean, Jesus.
Probably.
I mean, Vulcans served till 200, Sarek. This Uridian mask,
Is
Is
this
James Cromwell? No.
Okay, when does TOS take place in? It takes place in 2265. T'Pol was apparently born in 2088, so that makes her like about 180 at the start of TOS.
That's young. She's still young.
That's no. That's near death.
You guys were talking about Porthos before. If we got life extension for humans, you could have a dog live to at least 50.
Vulcans live to be about 200-ish.
Yeah.
Why is it that in Star Trek, every species has their specialties? Like Uridians are information dealers, and
It's a natural consequence of their planets only being one thing.
Yeah.
It's a natural consequence of human writings and story types. So we kind of like, oh well, that race is naturally shifty, and it just helps us comprehend the story better.
The Ferengi? We're talking about the Ferengi?
No, well, he was asking about Uridians being information dealers, but generally, why does one race only do one thing? And it's like,
Because they find their niche and they just go for it.
like this is something I remember. I don't have anyone to share this with, but like back in the medieval era, the Islamic theologian philosophers, they would write about how people in North Africa, they are hot and dry, like their climate, like they're very harsh people, and they're not nice at all. And you know, the reason we don't say things like that today is because obviously it just depends on whoever you meet. So okay, you went on a vacation, you met some rude people, and now you come back writing books saying how everybody in North Africa is like a bit crabby.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to say that there can be a general attitude in a different culture, is it?
Okay, while we're still on the scene, I have a question. If the parasites were neutralized in the past at all times and they're not on the scans, how did they remember them?
Because-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just time.
Oh, I
Because
see.
when they go
It's
to sleep,
always
they'll
the-
forget. Just like
Always the
after.
question with these.
Because I
they
was
probably think,
supposed
wow,
because
it
they
had no effect. The treatment had no effect whatsoever. This is a waste of time, and they stopped.
Wait, why did we target this part of his brain that had no parasites in it? What was up with
This-
that?
Yeah.
This episode's
that
kind of
would
like,
that would definitely be a way of doing it whilst having it occur normally.
And then
like,
they could figure it out through logic.
yeah.
Well, if they had done that, they wouldn't.
I don't think they have
like
time.
the machine wouldn't have recorded that it had targeted that part of the brain, so they would just be like, "All right, let's try for the first time."
It would still be the same outcome. Anyway.
Well, no, it should have never have happened, really, because the first time
So
they
they just keep
targeted it,
trying
they
over
never
and over.
existed, so they never existed, so they didn't target that, so they targeted the next area.
So they took a different area,
they never
right?
did,
No,
and
they
then it
just
just-
cure.
Yeah.
It would
So
instantly
can-
cure everything.
can
The
you
first
go back in
treatment is the
time-
last treatment.
Can you go back in time and kill your grandmother?
Yes. Yes, I already did. Why does
We don't
Reed have
reference the
mirror
shields yet.
universe facial hair?
Why haven't the
Yeah.
Zindi got better technology by now?
Yeah, there's the shields line.
You left that open-ended
Shields.
ear review. You had to make that work. You had to say, go back in time and kill your grandmother before she gives birth to your parents, or mother, or father, or whoever.
Yeah, you can't just murder an innocent old lady.
Well, you
your
can.
grandmother
Well, you
gave birth to
can.
both your parents.
Well,
The point is
yeah, that's
to-
possible.
That's confusing. 'cause
at least one
physically
of
I
them,
can,
right?
though. In fact, it would be really easy.
No,
but-
no, there's two shows in Star Trek as well, but in reality, shields would never be able to protect against the full brunt of a weapons attack, just due to simple laws of physics.
Why?
Because conservation of momentum, for one thing, and other aspects of physics mean that the energy must be transferred through the shields as well.
Are we to understand that ship's actually flying really fast? It's just that the camera's moving with it, or is it just sitting there?
Everything's
Well, that's
wrong.
part of Einstein's idea of space, is that you can't tell.
You'll
you're
never
in
tell,
space.
Ryan.
Okay, but this is cinematography.
If the ship fights were truly realistic, they'd be extremely boring.
There's an object. And
You
an
wouldn't even
observer.
be able to see them because they're so far away from each other.
Yeah, everything would happen beyond visual range, and there'd be no sound.
Yeah.
It would just be ships
Oh,
getting blown up by
I like
by
the little
missiles.
CGI bodies floating into space. That's nice.
Yeah.
And now Reed can't tell you no. Not Reed, Trip.
I like how they grayed out Archer and Trip's hair. But this is kind of like all good things, because it's like the chicken and the egg, Will. The chicken and the egg.
They execute each of them individually.
Because they're just having fun. That's what bad guys do.
Oh, well, looks like humanity's doomed.
Some of these Enterprise episodes had really like good budgets. Because to shoot everybody one at a time, that's like cinematography wise, a bit harder.
We have to overload 3 injectors. What a convenient number.
I think my favorite representation of that space-time thing, something affecting in the past, watching it unfolding in present time, is that film Frequency, where his father or like is communicating to him, and later as a young boy he carves something on his skin, and as an adult he sees the scar on his hand in real time.
Frequency.
Yeah, Frequency. I did say that.
There's Frequency and there's Butterfly Effect. There's two different movies where they have concepts like that. But Frequency is the one where he's talking to his dad on the ham radio
Yeah,
across time
bless you.
because of Aurora Borealis or something like that. It's stupid.
Well, I mean, how else are
Aurora
you gonna convey that?
Borealis.
How else are you going to convey that to an audience? The idea of
Nice
time
pull.
travel, because otherwise, like Ryan points out, it makes no sense. If you cured it in the future, then you cured it in the past, and the whole episode never happened. Thanks for playing.
That's exactly what happens. The whole episode never happened.
Well, yeah, but so how do
But
you
it
show
should
that?
have never happened 10 minutes ago.
But
Very
like I
dramatic
said,
though this is.
we're in the constraints of cinema here, so time travel be damned.
Alright, Archer is now the last surviving member of the crew.
Yes.
And
An
he's
old dementia-ridden man.
with a
He's
fatal
gonna
parasite.
save the day.
And somehow he survived
is
that
he?
hit.
Yep, he's fine.
Yeah, don't worry
I mean-
about it.
For an old dementia man, he's about to launch a new TV series, so he's doing pretty good.
Well, I don't think he has dementia in real life. I think Scott Bakula is fine.
Okay.
What is Scott Bakula doing these days?
He was doing SAS New Orleans.
Yeah.
He survives yet another shot.
He was in 155 episodes of that.
Wow, I didn't know that. So in the spirit of TNG, we blow up the ship to reset the timeline.
So Archer's like officially the most durable human being because he took 2 shots and still didn't die.
He did die from the second one, just very, very slowly.
I mean, the Makos and stuff are getting
He fought through
one-shotted.
it
You'd
in
think they'd be a
sheer-
bit tougher than him.
Well, I mean,
Sheer force of will.
it reminds me of the Clone Wars TV show, where normally people die in one shot in all cases, if they get hit. But occasionally they need to like crawl towards something so they can tank like 10.
In real life, I split my head open, and I lost a lot of blood, but I
That's what happens,
maintained
yes.
consciousness. Yeah, it was like a shocking amount of blood, but I just kind of like
yeah.
powered through it, and I never lost consciousness. So
It's
So,
surprisingly.
do you think you could take 2 shots from a Zindi disruptor?
I don't know. It's a fictional thing.
I also cracked my head open at one time, but I was a baby at the time, so, you know. I probably didn't just power through it through the sheer strength of my manliness.
Just blood everywhere, and you're just standing there as a baby.
Fiction in my Star Trek?
My God, it's Deutschland.
Yeah.
Well, on no sea.
Hello.
Hey, how are the cats?
The new one is attempting to murder everyone at all times.
You have a new cat?
Yes, the old kitty is gone.
What happened?
The ex-husband wanted him. So the ex-husband has a fat gray kitty.
Okay.
Oh,
And now I have a small murderous gray kitty.
the other cat must be like, what's the deal with this one?
They lighten up
Get
eventually.
smaller.
They get less murderous over time.
I don't know.
Alrighty, I will be back in 5-10 minutes. See you guys in a minute.
See you.
But you're gonna
Begin
miss some of the
5:10.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 minute to
get
the
my washing.
Skagarans. Everyone queue up.
Filthy skags.
Nope, we don't use slurs against the Skagarans here. Only against the Spoonheads.
They do a really good job of coming up with the slur.
I never. I know this
question
is a
is,
thing in
what
real life
happened
too,
to
but I
like
never understood
the
the
civilization
slurs.
of the Skagarans?
Don't worry about it. They just went somewhere else. I never understood slurs that are just like the actual name of someone, but just shortened.
Arties.
Cardi.
Like people did that with the Japanese, and I don't get why that counts as a slur, but it does. So you know,
Nips.
don't get what's up.
We
with
have
that.
one of those in the UK, which I won't mention because it is taken as a slur. But you know that country next to India?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Well, what
Yeah,
I
you
know
just
is we're
take
gonna
off-
press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Convinced the
Yeah.
spoonhead slur came from the makeup department. That's got to be like leaking into the show from the production.
And we have skinheads, so it makes sense why we have spoonheads.
What is that? Wah 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 wah. What makes that noise? Is that harmonica?
Wah wah wah.
There's definitely a harmonica in there.
Wah wah wah. Wah wah.
Is that a skag?
Wah.
We don't use that word.
Of course it is.
Gagarin.
But Scott isn't a slur. Scott is just Scott.
All
I don't
right, so
think
we're
Scott
good
is a
to
slur.
skag, right?
Let's see.
The term to gyp someone comes from gypsy, so it's a slur for stereotyping gypsies as sneaky people.
He looks like he's got some good shoes. We should.
There's a lot of idioms and phrases that, you know, maybe we should look at the etymology a little bit.
So it's done with a combination of human voices, harmonicas, and flutes.
Okay.
Oh, cool. See, I knew there was a wind instrument in there somehow. Not just I'm sorry,
Harmonicas.
a string.
So,
A
are you
string.
telling me that that's not the authentic sound of the Wild West, and that it's a
Harmonica.
reproduction?
Harmonicas.
Nope. Muted Discord for that one. So, hey, YouTube, what's up? It's just me now. All right, they're back.
That wasn't me for once.
I didn't hear what he said. He said, what was he?
No,
Something
we don't.
harp?
Don't worry about it, Argos. So anyway, how
mouth
about
harp.
that weather? Yes, a mouth harp. But yeah, this episode's really good. I like. I mean, it's silly because it's just Wild West but space, but yeah, it's fine. It's fun. It's good Wild West in space. There's some
Nothing
good
beats the fistful of
holier
data.
than thou
Fistful of
morality going on.
datas. Nothing beats fistful of datas.
Yeah, and no one beats Brent Spiner.
It's hard to beat someone when they can be literally 100 people.
No, I love the last guy at the end. He's the chubby Mexican character who throws the gun.
Fun fact, everyone in this episode is also played by Brent Spiner.
Just everyone.
He's just that good of an actor. You can't tell. Yeah, this is historical, shall we say.
In multiple ways. Because later she gets in trouble for teaching them how to read.
Are you saying this is some kind of allegory?
No. In my Star Trek?
Allegory? Really? That's not what the
It
show's
cannot
about.
be.
Just
Are they
have
like
Logan
injecting
Black.
politics into TV now?
Oh.
God. Political correctness got mad.
I started watching season 3 of Discovery.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's kind of bad. It hasn't changed my opinion.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I disagree with your opinion, but okay.
In this episode,
fine.
also, they bring up the great fact that how do you get justice in a system where the jury will be made up of murderers who do the lynching? And so it was very difficult for forget about voting rights, but even like simple things like murder and property rights to be protected for
I mean, about like getting a fair jury and trying to get it where the people who don't like you are on the jury. There's a nice John Oliver piece about that and how juries still are kind of screwy. Jury selection process.
Yeah, and it's like a fundamental right to be tried by a jury of your peers. Nice cat.
I think Discovery, one of the things it suffers from is what every prequel movie and series suffers from, is that you're shoehorning the story into existing lore and stories. So
It's not a prequel
everything.
anymore, though.
Season 3.
Well, I was about to get to that.
We'll get to it faster.
And you have to arrive at a known endpoint, right? And obviously they're trying to alleviate that issue with what happened at the end of season 2, but it brings a question: why didn't they just do that to begin with? Why didn't they just set it in a different time?
I suspect they changed their minds
instead of the past.
I don't know.
It's stupid. It's dumb. It's just dumb. I'm sorry.
I think I enjoyed the show better as a sequel than I did as a prequel. So I'm happy they changed it up.
I'm agreeing that it's probably better that way, but I'm saying it's still stupid that this started out where it did.
I really like about this scene is that how do you barter in an age like you're from the 24th century? You don't have cold hard cash, so he says like, I'm not even gonna give you like. I mean, I have a watch. I'd barter a watch, but I've used a cigarette to get out of a tricky situation.
You have?
Yeah, I had to kick somebody out once of the lobby, and I gave him a cigarette, and it was not a problem. So, but the thing is, though, how do you barter with someone who has no interest in listening to you? But he's like, all right, I'll give you this, and I'll come back in 2 hours. You don't even have to sell me the horse.
So, I have more questions. Where did Trip get the gun?
They made it on Enterprise.
But it's
They
only
don't have
2151.
replicators, so they had to machine that.
Yep. That's his dad's harmonica.
His
Or did he, like, steal that from
great-grandpappy's
someone?
gun thing?
I mean, Reed's probably got a stash of guns.
A lovely horse.
That's not Trip. You can't.
Ugh, it is quite hard, Trip. Come on.
I've seen
I
every
mean,
John
he's on
Ford
the
movie.
horse. That's a big step.
Once the horse is trained, like the horse knows what to do.
Yeah,
But you don't
it's
know
not
how to
enough-
command
yeah.
the horse and tell it what to do.
No,
Or where to go.
If you're still jittery, the horse is not going to let you on.
Yeah.
The horse will play games with you. If you're
When
not, it's a very intelligent creature.
when the automobile was first proliferating and they were taking people out on test drives and showing them how to use it, and they wanted to slow down, they're going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And of course, the
Like,
car
that's-
didn't give a shit. The car didn't care.
I mean,
Well,
I
I
do
mean,
generally like my vehicles to not care about things or have opinions.
You don't want voice-controlled vehicles?
It doesn't
But,
need to have an
it's called a-
opinion to be voice controlled.
It's called a horseless carriage,
Tesla's
so they're
So-
still looking at it like that.
Tesla cars have gotten rid of the range selector, and it predicts what gear you want to be in. So when you turn your car on, it kind of surveys the surroundings, and if there's an obstacle in front of you, it automatically goes into reverse. And it doesn't ask what you want. If you want to override it, you have to go through the menu and like go into a special menu and override the gear.
Oh wow! So it just
Yeah.
assumes you're not going to want to crash into things.
You don't want to go through this wall?
Yeah. So then, like when you do a 3-point turn, it'll automatically switch into drive once you've pulled out of your spot or whatever. But it just seems like it's like,
That
do
would,
we need
that
that
would take a
level
lot of
automation?
unlearning.
As
Do
long
we
as
need
there's
a
like a
lot
good
of that
indicator,
level
like it
of
plays a
automation?
sound or something to let you know when it switches.
Yeah, that'd be important.
I don't know about that.
So this scene is pretty hard to watch because literally
It's
treating someone,
historical.
treating somebody like you're about to beat them down for the slightest infraction at any second. I'm not used to my Star Trek being this like
I mean,
violent.
that's just standard like bullying, you know. In this case, it's because of discrimination, but that doesn't happen just
Yes.
because of that.
The Wild West was only like 20 years or 30 years or something like that.
It was so weird. I was reading, well, not recently, I guess now, but some time ago I was reading Sherlock Holmes, and it just suddenly transitioned into from like London, where everything's all industrialized and stuff, and then suddenly it was in Wild West America, and it was at the same time. And it was just people were there was such a
Oh,
strong
yeah.
juxtaposition there.
That is weird.
That's cool.
Does this scene remind you of the bar scene in Back to the Future 3? Like where Mad Buford Tannen, is it Mad Dog Tannen? Yeah, Mad Dog Tannen makes Marty dance. He does the moonwalk.
Like
This
You're
reason
not even-
is this episode's all brown gray for the same reason that Mexico is yellow. That's just how it is.
yeah, for sepia.
Yeah.
Sepia is the term for film. But yeah, are you correcting me, boy?
Yikes.
Take the gun, shoot him. Do it.
And this is the first time we actually see what makes Skags different. Skagarans. That they have
Garans, yes.
they have the blemishes on their skin.
Don't they have like formations on the side of their head too?
Yeah,
shapes?
ridges.
Did you just
Ridges.
call them blemishes?
I don't know what to refer to that.
Yeah,
looks
strange
looks like
cancerous
blisters.
growths.
Yeah.
Triceratops fins.
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, it's just a skag. It doesn't matter.
Y'all are messed up.
Argos is really
I'm
far.
anti-skag.
It was interesting. I follow Warhammer 40k, right? I play a little Warhammer 40k, and there was people getting upset about the fictional racism and xenophobia in Warhammer 40k fiction, and also that PETA was getting upset that the models had like furs and stuff on them, like the Space Wolves had like plastic fake resin
For Peter to get
pelts
up
and
and
stuff
set
on their
about
models.
everything.
Yeah, PETA is weird.
Yeah, but I love this actor though, because he's like very genuinely upset that his bullying session was interrupted.
So is Warhammer? I don't really know much about Warhammer. Is the racism and xenophobia in that a direct allegory? Because like the Skagarans are just non-whites in 19th century America.
The human empire is extremely xenophobic, and it's their holy duty to cleanse the galaxy of xeno scum.
But lynchings continued until 1960 or so. So, and there was no federal legislation.
Direct allegory.
Throughout most
Except
of
Nazi Germany, now that I think about it. So,
well, yeah, the human empire is kind of modeled after Germany in a way, and so it is also in Warhammer Fantasy. It's very influenced by turn of the century Germany, or maybe like 17th century Germany, 16th. I don't know. Anyway,
the treatment of the Skagarans is not only slavery though; it's also post Jim Crow South.
Yeah, it's not slavery. It's like just after slavery.
Yeah.
What this that we're watching right now?
Yeah.
Like they're still not allowed to read though. That's a slavery thing.
Hey, but don't remember the Skagarans enslaved humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part maybe isn't historical. The reversal thing there.
You know something really cool though. So from the year 1000
Well, there is arguments, not that I would follow them, but there is arguments that slavery happened from all cultures in the past.
Absolutely.
I think it's actually kind of an interesting perspective in this episode, because a lot of places where there was slavery, when they finally got rid of the people that were enslaving them, they just created slavery again on their own because it was all they knew. So that's kind of what humans have done here.
Mm.
I think it's. But I was saying from the year 1000 onwards, England was persecuting Ireland. They would kidnap people and enslave them. But from the year 0 to 1000, Ireland would be enslaving and kidnapping people on the Isle of England and Scotland and terrorizing those people through raids.
I suppose that comes a bit from William the Conqueror taking over all of England and did the same to the English people initially.
Yeah, 1066.
Well, that's probably where the great British phrase "turnabout's fair play" comes from. Not to make light of historical atrocities, but turnabout's fair play.
But what we're really trying to say here is this Skagarans got what was coming to them, right? Right, guys?
No. Bad Argos. No.
This lady is a hero because she's the only one who sees them as people.
Archer's a spy. Don't trust him. He's part of the secret cowboy police.
Could honestly be a spy. She doesn't know.
That's a really cool kerosene lamp.
This would just be an actual Wild West town that is permanently set up that they've been gone to, I would expect.
Yeah.
Very
It's on Warner Brothers lot, I think, has that one.
Yeah. But I mean, when you think about the horror of criminalizing teaching someone how to read, it's like you want them to stay illiterate and ignorant so they can never improve their condition.
Hey, speak for yourself, man.
That's what that is.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
But then again, they won't be able to read the news of how horrible stuff is like around the world.
If they can never like think of the ideas that would be required to gain their own freedom, then you don't need to worry about it.
This is why in Stellaris, when you want slaves, you nerve staple them. You just don't let them think.
Yes, and you've got lots of implants for tracking people as well. But for some reason, my scientists very much wanted to research.
What kind of societies are you building in Stellaris?
Honestly, I don't
didn't
build
want to
slave
research it.
I don't even build slave societies. They're just a hassle.
No, I am finally now a third in diplomatic power in my game that I'm doing at the moment.
See, what you do is you build a society that fosters individuals that can take care of themselves, and that way you don't need to worry about like slave immunities. You know, like they generate their own.
I don't know. I just always go full isolationism. I don't let Xenos in. It's not even because I don't like the Xenos. It's just because I don't want to deal with like different habitability and people being good at different types of jobs. It's just to have one monoculture.
Oh god, my friend's updated it. It's just giving me.
What is a friendly name for an
apps or
ethno-state?
something.
But don't worry about that.
Don't care about any of the apps that it suggested.
Download the apps it suggests.
Well, like if people come to your planet and they're like, it's not habitable, it's kind of their own fault.
It is, but they're still going to drag down my amenities and my consumer goods. Like jerks. Oh.
This guy's terrifying.
Is it? He looks like he plays a comedy villain in a different episode. I think it's the hat.
He's a comedy villain in this episode.
Kinda.
Isn't in the first scene he lynches someone? Like he just strings him up. So, like,
but I can't take him seriously in that hat.
He's just a goon.
Uh-oh, Archer's getting himself involved again. Oh, Archer.
It's okay. There's no prime directive to violate.
Not yet.
Someday, someone's going to have to create some kind of directive.
I'm pretty sure Kurt would do exactly the same thing, though.
Oh yeah, Kirk would punch people for sure.
What would Picard do? Would he just stand there and be like, okay, beam me up? I'm going to find some weird legal exception to help you, but I'm not going to do it physically.
No one's doing the
already
palm
gotten someone
strike.
pregnant. Riker would have already gotten the whole town pregnant.
He's just like, yeah.
I feel like if Riker were here, it would play out
woman?
exactly the same way. Like there's clearly a little bit of something going on between Archer and Bethany.
Yes,
I think it would go the same way with
she's-
Riker.
Yeah,
She's the romance of the week for Archer.
Picard would fall in love with Bethany and then free all the slaves.
Yeah, Bethany's
Like-
too
oh.
young for him.
Speaking of
gets on.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Picard likes the older women, the ones that can play pianos.
Do you remember the woman in First Contact that they brought onto the Enterprise? What was her name? Molly or
Eve,
No.
Lily.
Lily? Thank you. There was supposed to be a romance. I think that was Picard. That was Patrick Stewart's idea to have a romance between him and her. And I think most of that ended up on the cutting room floor, but there's still a
that?
little bit of that that bleeds
Yeah.
through
they had a dynamic going.
to the other scenes.
Someone in
Was
the
he-
chat just used the word cromulent, and I Google searched it to find out what that meant. And the first thing it gives you is the episode of The Simpsons, Lisa the Iconoclast. I'm not sure that's the result I was looking
Cromulent
for.
is a word
Acceptable.
that's developed as it was a joke word. Like, oh, people try to use big words to try and sound fancy, but I think it's a very cromulent idea. It's
guess
a made up
maybe-
word. Granted, all words
Maybe-
are made up, but it's a
maybe
newly made up
literacy's-
word.
Literacy's overrated, huh?
So now
but
cromulent just means, whatever you want it to, really. Valid.
Real truth, though, during the civil rights movement, if you were protesting, let's say against voting laws, they put you in jail, but then the media attention and, your senator visiting or something, they'd release the protesters. But a lot of times there'd be people with like torches and pitchforks waiting for you outside. And the police would like deny or responsibility for that. So it's pretty hard fighting for your rights when the whole town is crooked.
Is this kind of shave like an indulgence, or do you have to come here every day?
You get your weekly allotted shave.
Shaving sucks.
Why didn't they give a bit of wash to his face? Just kind of wipe the cream off,
it's
and
fine,
it's
don't
all
worry
just
about
still on his face.
Corrupt cop breaking the law to his own advantage.
He's only a little corrupt. He's got a good heart.
Does he? He's still oppressing an entire race of people.
Yeah, but he
He's
comes
open.
around.
Look, he's open to change. He's just doing this because this is what he was
It's his
raised to
job.
do.
It's his job. He's just a sheriff. He enforces the law. He doesn't write the laws. He's
just following orders.
He's just presiding over a oppressive system. He has nothing to do with it.
It's like Gul Dukat. He's just doing what the Central Command told him to. He's not Space Hitler.
If anything, he made the conditions at the ore processing better than they would have been otherwise.
That's true.
He increased rations. The first thing he did.
He put Odo to find murderers of Bajorans.
And he fails. Send innocent people to their death. Thanks, Odo.
In the background, the man stands with a razor wiping it on his towel.
Is he threatening Archer with that?
He looks like a porn actor.
I have a straight edge razor, and it's fun to use. It's just hard to keep sharp.
That's why we invented disposable razors.
Yes.
This is why we invented just not shaving anymore, because it's a hassle.
Sheriff lays down the law.
He is the law. Ooh, they have the White Tree of Gondor in their courtyard. That's nice.
And Archer's hat is really fantastic. It has like nails and studs in it.
What are the studs for? Do they keep the hat together?
It's just fancy.
Yeah, it's just fancy. It's nice and cool.
Did he have that on the ship? Did he buy it? But there's a lovely outtake on this scene that I want to do. In just a moment. There, Archer's like trying to unlock the door. He takes the keys, but he's just jamming them in one at a time. He can't get the right one. And Mr. Funny Hat comes up and is like, it's the silver key. It's like, what? Oh, thank you. No, it's a fair argument.
Why is
Just
it gonna
leave.
have like a Wild West accent? You spend 10 years in prison.
At least you didn't call her little lady.
You gotta keep on keeping on.
Oh, most of the In fact, the accent itself is derived from films and things. It wasn't what they actually had.
Pilgrim.
Relax, man. Just let him go. What's the harm? Just leave him alone.
So
It's a crime.
I read something very interesting from a libertarian source. We say that the Wild West was like very lawless,
Slow mo.
but because everyone had a gun, it was pretty lawful in the sense that like people knew that you don't rob someone for no reason in town.
Or you get
You're
shot,
just
even though
lucky
the
you get
penalty for
shot.
that is not the death sentence.
Hey, self-defense.
It's not self-defense, it's property defense. Those are different things.
If somebody is trying to rob you, what are they using to rob you? A gun. If they're pointing a gun at you, you're allowed to point a gun back and shoot them. They're assaulting you with a deadly weapon. It's not just robbery anymore.
But like, okay, if there's no federal marshals, you kind of do need a gun on your person. It's not a bad idea.
Well, that's where you have a license and training for carrying a gun around.
Yeah.
Training?
Like
Registration.
in Switzerland, everyone is required to go through the training,
like-
then you get to keep the gun.
They're like, we can have the sheet go all the way up to like her chest, and cover up everything. And Rick Berman's like, no, exposed midriff. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, in Germany, there's a federal gun registry. It's not a bad idea.
No,
That's
as
a
I said,
horrible idea.
Switzerland has.
This is America.
Horrible idea.
As I said, Switzerland has
Brr.
everyone gets training with a gun and then gets to keep the gun afterwards.
But Switzerland is so armed to the teeth. It's on the level of like Israel and the United States in terms of man for man, best military.
Nobody is as armed as the American populace.
What are we at, like 3 or 4 guns per citizen?
We've got
No,
like
it's still like 81 per 100.
3. There's 1.3 billion guns in the United States in private hands.
Population of about 350 million. Let me do the division.
We could
there.
arm China. Yeah, we've got like 4 or 5 for every person. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
looks
might
like
be
about
skewing
4.
those.
Just under 4.
I might be skewing those numbers slightly.
It's fine. The general idea is that there's a lot of guns.
No,
There's also
I meant
2
me
cell phone
personally.
numbers for every person. So we're pretty much at the age.
Yeah, good point.
We're at the
I've got
age of like too much.
Well, I have my work phone, and I have my personal phone, and then I have like a auxiliary phone.
Like I was just reading about 50s Russia. Vladimir Putin's father was an intelligence agent, so they had a telephone in their own flat, and they lived in a communal apartment building. But there was one telephone for the whole building back then, and like nobody
Right.
had their own phone in their apartment.
Well,
So his father was
that
an
also happened in the United
agent,
States.
but he didn't inherit the intelligence part of that.
He was in the KGB too. He was a field operative.
In
I was just
Dresden,
calling
what you're
Vladimir
saying,
Putin
though.
An idiot.
I know.
it's okay. I mean, that guy's running circles around everyone, not just you, Ryan.
Who, Vladimir Putin? He's not running
Yeah.
circles around nobody right now.
But he found out Angela Merkel was scared of dogs. So when the German chancellor came to visit him, he had a big dog next to him, and she was terrified the whole time.
Yeah, that's just stupid and petty. That doesn't make him look strong. Just makes him
Oh, the
look like
thing
a
with-
child.
The thing with the dogs, was that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
And Merkel?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very insecure.
Another
Yeah,
place
that's
to never
true.
come back to.
We're here for the
Russia?
Zindi, right? We're worried about transporting 6,000 people to freedom.
We're
like-
kind of worried about this Indy a little bit. Sometimes. It's fun
When
to
will
have a
you-
nice little break from that.
That is a great tree. Good observation, Ryan. I didn't know.
But that was my whole point, is that they never fully committed to the Zindi arc. The Zindi arc was a backdrop to all these standalone episodes. This could have been a standalone episode that happened in any season.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
There's
don't
only
see me,
like
but I'm
3
waving my
standalone
arms around
episodes in this
wildly.
whole season.
This is one of them. The last one was one of them. The one with the creepy crab face dude.
You know, not for nothing, the way the Zindi arc episode ends is with we wake up in Nazi Germany, you know, with like other reptilian aliens. So it's like it didn't even end on like a proper note.
Yeah. Well,
Then season 4.
What could it be?
they wanted to end the temporal Cold War, so they ended the temporal Cold War.
With
And
another
then
timeline.
and then they went to standalone episodes, and then they ended the series.
God, look at that shot. What are you doing, Scott?
They're
Still tolerated in a Western fashion.
Yeah.
It would have been fun if they just like slowly transitioned the color grade during that scene.
I think that was like a promo for the trailer too.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a screen grab. How come he's talking to the sheriff and not? Is there a mayor? Is there
No, there's no mayor.
a governor? What's the deal
No.
here?
The sheriff's in charge.
Just the sheriff?
Yeah.
Do we have a government, or is it just city to city?
Just city to city. Settlements, they call them.
Unlike some people.
I mean, you said racist things about Vulcans. You hate Vulcans because they messed up your father's ambitions.
Yeah, but those aren't on. Well, they are. Never mind.
Yes, it is correct to discriminate against the Skags.
No.
No, but you don't act like you've overcome racism when you're still plenty racist.
Do you think Archer has like a bit of that in him? Like he's like, how dare you be like this, when he's like, I hate the whatevers. I hate the Vulcans. The Vulcans did all this to me, and I don't
Archer
like.
is himself a little racist against Vulcans, yes.
But that's because that's a current thing going on as opposed to something that happened 300 years ago.
True.
How long have they been like not letting them read and stuff on this planet?
It's the better part of 300 years. Do we get Tumbleweed in this
Oh,
episode?
hi, Mr. McCready.
Why would they
There'll be a
shoot him, though?
tumbleweed right here, I
Reed's
think.
really in a...
Okay.
Of all the people to shoot there, why would he shoot the sheriff?
Yeah, it's because they're using old 300-year-old rifles.
Because he couldn't shoot the deputy.
Well, he is... Okay, yes.
You can't shoot the deputy because he was the deputy, but no longer.
Bennings, Jennings, Franklin, and Pierce. Oh,
You know, it's just
Reed started the firefight. Good job, Reed.
It's just so funny.
Well,
Only technically, someone opened the door to shoot him.
All right, I mean, Han
He
shoots
was
first.
just
That's part of the
aiming.
character.
That doesn't
Part of the
count.
character.
You can't trust that in this case.
They shot the sheriff first.
Yes, they did start the fight first. As well.
True. That guy in the window with his revolver, he's not even aiming.
the real people to blame here are the Skagarans. They created this
No,
situation.
no.
They brought humanity here.
I think the real person to blame is you.
Why? Because I'm not afraid to speak the truth.
Lay down some fire. So this is not really related. I watched The Gladiator again recently, and I
Russell
noticed,
Crowe.
yeah, I noticed that when Commodus is having some soldiers executed, the order that's given is fire, but they have bows and arrows. Fire wasn't a thing.
Yes, that is very true. It would be loose.
Or shoot.
Yeah, it would be loose. Still, it probably wouldn't be shoot. It would be
Yeah, you
loose.
do-
Oh,
Arrows.
that's
Anything but
graphic.
fire. That doesn't make sense.
No, you fire arrows.
that's
No,
quite
you
graphic
don't.
on Archer there.
You fire lightning bolts too.
The term fire came about because we started using weapons that use fire.
Yeah.
Fire in that context wasn't used before firearms.
Okay.
It was loose.
And when did we turn fire into losing a job? Like, it's a strange word that we have just extended.
Because you're being shot out.
Oh. You learn so much from the Star Trek watch along.
When you shoot a gun at someone, you're firing them from life.
True. You're ending their
Archer's
contract.
shoulder is really, really graphic for this show.
Sorry, what is?
Archer's shoulder, like it fully blew
Just
out
completely
when
gone.
he got shot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is the best scene of this episode.
That's
What
a
are you gonna
nice
do,
blue
Reed?
outfit they got her in.
Oh, very effective.
Shoot the hostage.
It's just like, what?
Just like in Speed. Remember in Speed, shoot the hostage.
One of my best wins ever in Counter-Strike was me just basically just shooting through 3 out of the 4 hostages, and we still won.
Okay.
So she's
Yeah,
got
that was a really good strategy for me. Just stun to pull. So he's like, "What the hell did you just do?"
Oh, that's a savage weapon. Also, that horse is totally in post. Not the visual horse, the sound of the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't even sound like it's in the scene.
You could tell they had a lot of fun in this episode. And it's kind of good because, like, the Zindi stuff is so heavy. Like, losing your sister in Florida, 7 million people dead.
Well, I mean, she was in Florida. She had it coming.
And
Hey!
a faceless unknown
You're
enemy.
not in Florida anymore, I assume.
But here we get like deadly weapons and the actors in cowboy hats. It's kind of lighthearted.
Oh
Except
yeah,
for
there
this-
was another scene where T'Pol is mysteriously not stronger than a human for the plot.
True.
She somehow could not escape that man's feeble grip.
They're just built different on this planet. What planet is this again?
Expanse planet.
North Star.
That's
I
how
don't
it
know
goes.
if it has a name. I'm looking at Memory Alpha. Discovers a planet inhabited by humans.
It really helps to be
Resembles
like
Earth.
connected to other continents with other civilizations. Otherwise, you really stagnate in your own ideas. Like the Incas, they never invented the wheel or a writing system. They had a rope tying system. But like if you don't need the wheel and you have llamas and alpacas, then you just build an empire across South America with llamas and alpacas.
Okay,
Now,
so the
the
planet
thing-
is not named.
Alpaca
Now the thing
Empire.
about this is, Archer's contacted one settlement and got one settlement and change. He actively said that there's other settlements on this planet.
Don't worry about that.
They're all going to think this is a crazy settlement that had aliens visiting.
We didn't see the other settlements, so they don't exist.
Yeah, and we know there's slavery in the other settlements because she asks him, "Where are you from?" He goes, "I'm up from north." But what are Skagarans? And she goes, "How far up north are you?" Because everybody
San
knows
Francisco.
what a Skagaran.
I guess really should have said from out west.
But yeah, everybody does slavery on this planet. Like everybody knows what Skagarian inferiority is.
All right, and the next and final
so
episode
you admit
for
that they're
today.
inferior.
No, bad. The next episode for today and the final episode is 2x2.
So much Gagarin denial going on here.
Ah, yes, it's the clone of Trip.
It's
1
the
minute to 2x2. Everyone queue up.
Skagaran man's burden.
They're not men. They're Skagarin.
The real question is Sim a man?
Yes.
Wait, sorry. When we start this, right? It's totally not fair how T'Pol learns from Sim that he likes her, and then
Oh, he has a crush on her? That's so embarrassing.
You pretty
then-
girl.
Tucker learns from future T'Pol that she likes him. It's like, if we have like our future spouse just tell us, yeah, they're the one, that takes all of the work out of it, finding the right person.
What if I don't want? Hang on. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. But what if I don't want to do the work?
I think they're both
Save
in
me some
denial
time.
about it. It's just that those situations really made it clear that it couldn't be denied anymore.
Yeah.
This is such a bait and switch at the beginning of the episode.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's Star Trek.
Who are these people standing next to Archer?
They're extras. Don't worry about it.
This is a full deck funeral, okay? Everybody showed up for this one.
I don't know these people.
Some of the 80-something people we never get to see.
All the people
I
we
don't-
do know are here, so it's fine.
No.
But you notice that his collar has no pips on it,
Does he?
so...
You'll
Yeah, it's
also
got the-
notice they never say his name.
Oh, now I understand.
Wow, why is that intro so much louder?
Of course you understand. You've seen the episode.
No, but when Ryan said that this is a bait and switch,
Ah, right.
and then now he's saying they don't.
Yes,
say
that was me. It was a very clever observation by me.
Ah, no pep.
But yeah, so I've now finished the Halo Infinite campaign.
How was it?
It's decent.
Do you think it might have been better if you didn't finish it over a 3-month span?
But I want my future self to tell me.
It's not even that
it
long,
was
man.
it was a very engaging game. It was very good.
Okay.
They
So engaging.
they left the ending very open for potentially DLCs or the next game.
Oh yeah, there's totally gonna be a sequel. Well, not a full game. They said they want Halo Infinite to be a 10-year game. We'll see how well that works
Let's
out.
win.
So they're planning for DLCs then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna release DLC campaigns.
Right.
Maybe open up some of those islands we don't actually get to go to.
Yeah.
I like Island.
2 weeks earlier.
I like Island so much I live on one.
What
So
is
in-
happening with T'Pol's
Jeez.
spine? That looks super uncomfortable.
In
Yeah.
real life, we have managed to give a pig's pancreas to someone, and that man just died. But like at some point, we're gonna figure it out. But at some point, we're gonna grow human organs to replace your smoker's lungs, for example. And
Yes.
we'll be all right. But at what point, like, do you grow a person to take out all their organs if it's more efficient
You don't...
instead of one organ at a time?
No, it's never more efficient. It's never more efficient.
Just one petri dish per organ.
I don't want
so-
I don't want my meat organs replaced with meat organs. I want metal organs.
Cyberman.
Superior metal.
Well, you can
The meat was
engineer,
the
you can
problem in the first
bioengineer better
have-
biological organs that are compatible.
We have 3D printed
I would-
person body parts.
Biological
So-
ascendancy.
Directed by LeVar Burton.
Nice.
Written by Rick Berman.
Whoa, what kind of pose is that?
That's
It's another
the
Levi-
he's
it's another
staring up her
episode
shirt
that-
pose.
It's
This
not
is
the episode that
crouching
Levi
Tucker.
person gets lumped with that has a lot of T'Pol
I wasn't
T'Pol
ready for that today.
Tucker moments. He got lumped with the last one as well.
Now we know
Well,
why
one of the
Tucker
previous
has so
ones.
much energy throughout the day.
Woo! Look at it go!
Oh, it went so slow.
I know.
How fast they
We're
trying
not
to
feeling
go?
anything this time.
But so that's the moral predicament. If you could grow a clone of yourself and then take his or her organs,
There we are.
is that bad? What makes
That's
that
Yes,
like- there's
because
like a- there's
clones
a
have no
movie.
legal rights, so they're not a person.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just pass that constitutional amendment now, so we don't have to struggle with it morally as a society.
There's a whole movie with Ewan McGregor about that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It is called
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith,
no.
where they make
trying to find
Anakin
it.
Skywalker more machine than man.
Read
That's
there.
that's Ryan's dream to become Darth Vader. Okay, confirmed.
Well, I don't need. Well, yeah, that'd probably be better still.
No.
I think the question is,
No, Darth
Did you-
Vader has like actual like fully metal arms. I want the like synthetic but artificial skin as well, like a golem, like Picard. Golem would
you
be
want-
ideal.
Oh, speaking of future fates of Star Trek characters for Ryan, we have Hoshi working nonstop to like decrypt the Zindi weapon, and like I was
It's
just
called
thinking,
The Island.
we have to get
Sorry.
Ryan in a room like upgrading TNG and DS9 to Blu-ray like that, just like mindless zombie working on.
the graphics card is just running at 100% for days.
I
The
mean,
problem-
they're
the
already
problem-
in 1080p. What do you want?
The problem with cloning a
PNGs.
person, right, to harvest them for organs, is that you have to age them up. How do you age them up? How do you accelerate their aging and then make it not accelerate past the point where you need it? Now you just construct, you grow the organ itself,
You
know,
have to
artificially.
decant them
Well,
with the right.
This particular thing that Phlox has doesn't have the ability to just make one organ. It makes all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is totally fiction. I'm talking about in real life because
Well, we
We're
can
talking
already
about-
build organs. The only one we really have trouble with is the brain.
Yeah.
yeah,
That whole
yeah.
issue with consciousness and stuff, like we don't really know about that yet.
And you know, the in defense of what Phlox did or is about to do, is when you have external organs from another person or another animal, your body can reject it, like, and does reject it. It hates it. So you die from the organ rejection. But if you have yourself as the donor, then there's no organ rejection.
Because the body is stupid and rejects things because it's stupid and it's made of meat.
No, each organ has a unique identifier built into it, and it runs the check. And if the check doesn't work, your body's like, nope.
Like iPhones stolen from the iPhone store don't work anymore because they just
Yep.
turn off the serial number.
Your body's like, nope, we're not doing that. You're not authenticated to be here.
Please call Microsoft.
That's why when you
Late
grow them, you
pathogen.
use the patient's own tissues to create it.
Okay, so right now
Yeah.
Trip's problem is with his neural tissue and his brain is all screwy. Why is he naked?
Phlox feels more comfortable that way.
But he doesn't have his midriff exposed. He's got his arms
Yeah,
crossed.
because he's a
got
man. That
the-
doesn't
The
that doesn't
sheet
count.
pulled all the way up.
The
If
idea
it was a lady, they'd have just a strip going over their breasts and a strip
Yes.
going over their
Egg.
crouch area, and that would be it.
he's kind of comatose.
Fluffy egg.
Like he'd be on a ventilator right now. but
Suka.
that's not future enough. That's too.
Suka, 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 suka,
Hey, don't swear.
suka, suka.
You know, they did a great job of casting the kid who plays Kid Tucker. Like you really believe that it's the
They did a really great job of casting Adult Sim.
But pan-fried catfish is like that's what that kid loves. You could just tell.
And pecan pie, don't forget.
Oh yeah. And
Which I've
T'Pol.
never had before. But I hear it's good.
Paul.
Oh, it's pretty good. Mr. Deutschland, how do you feel about pecan pie?
Not a fan.
That okay.
Yeah, just never gotten to the taste of it. Never liked it.
The
I
taste
know.
of it is sugar. Sugar is the taste of it.
And
It is almost completely
and
sugar.
pecan. Why is it pecan when
Yeah.
it's just a nut, but it turns into pecan pie? Pecan pie
depends.
contains pecans.
Pecan pie.
Depends where you are when you're saying it.
No, you're right though. It is pecan and pecan pie.
I call it
Pecan
pecan pie.
and pecan. It can be either one.
Pecan pie.
As long as you don't get canned pea pie, it's a different thing.
So why does Phlox have this thing again?
Don't worry about
I think he
Back up,
said.
back.
He explained what he used it for at the beginning, and we were talking over it.
Yeah. Did anyone
He's
catch
like, I
it?
normally use it for this, but we can use it for this, but that's illegal.
Backup egg.
He essentially it's for general neural suppression or something like that.
It's for making.
Oh yeah, it's like a
the
secretions or something he normally uses.
It's essentially a pain. Suppressant.
But this animal has no
Antiviral something or
reason to
other.
evolve this way under evolution. It's just like a giant replicator for someone else's DNA.
How do you know?
What's the evolution? I mean, parasites.
Could we use the protein resequencer to get neural tissue?
Yes.
We just.
What is that rock she's carrying?
That's
It's
from
a
the
part of-
outside stuff.
Is
Yeah.
that Trillium D?
No, it's just space magnetic rock.
Oh.
This episode's really sad though because we're gonna kill someone.
No.
Is it
They're not a
someone
person
though?
legally.
No, but the guy doesn't want to die, just like Tuvix though. But he pleads for like even more.
Yes, even 400 or so years into the future, we're still just destroying things that get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting point. How much do they have to feed this clone every day to grow to like 200 some pounds, whatever Trip is?
He'd be eating like constantly around the clock.
How many calories does this clone
It's true.
consume?
But the
It'd be
other
like,
thing-
Yay, here we go.
the
Backup egg.
mountain's diet where he's eating like
Zuka!
40,000 calories a day. It's squishy.
Oh, he needs more than 4,000.
I said 40,000.
Oh, 40. Yeah, that sounds more reasonable.
This is a bath sponge.
No, it's a Zuka.
yeah. The like if you look at the daily routine of the guy who played the mountain, was it whatever his name is? I can't think of it now. But basically, it's like get up, consume 5,000 calories, work out for an hour, consume 5,000 calories, work out for an hour, consume, and it's just that all day. And it's just all like sweet potatoes, rice, chicken breasts, salmon, just massive quantities.
Where is that
Healthy
tube
baby
going?
boy. It Phlox
that
is blowing into it.
animatronic? Or is that a puppet?
It was probably just a wire that was moving the head back and forth.
Is that
It's a push-pull
animatronic?
wire.
That's a fake
Nah.
baby.
It's a puppet, I guess.
That
That's
is
a
not
baby.
nearly enough milk for a baby that's going to grow up to the size of a man tomorrow.
Well, you don't know. It could be space milk that has like 18,000 calories in there.
I guess
Have
it
you ever
could
gone
be.
to Sonic and gotten a chocolate cream pie shake? That has like 3,500 calories. Come on.
What?
We have a shake place here that sells shakes that are like 3,500,
Argos, it's
4,000 calories.
America.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just surprised because that's more than you need for. Well, you could just go 2 days and that would be a lean couple of days, wouldn't it?
No,
Used to have
that's
the
like
one
half a day, because it's America.
They took it off the menu, but you can still order it because they got so much flack for it having so many calories.
What do they put in it?
Everything.
Just cream.
Chocolate, whipped cream, pie crust, a graham cracker pie crust. Sugar, lots of sugar.
If this baby is aging this fast, shouldn't he like be growing visibly in Phlox's arms?
Sim.
Because he's just a simulation of a person. Kill him.
Yes.
So a small chocolate cream pie shake has 1,200 calories. Let's see what a large one has. Okay, so we're talking 2,000. That's still a lot for one shake.
You wouldn't have the same
1,500.
accent as Trip though, because
He's
the
reading
accent is
War of
based
the
on people
Worlds.
around you.
Yes.
He apparently is acquiring Trip's memories as he ages, so he would,
Yes.
because he is.
I recently watched the War of the Worlds movie with Tom Cruise, and it was very 2004.
How does he get the memories of Trip though? It doesn't
Don't
make
worry about
magic.
it. In Star Trek, for some reason, memories are stored in DNA. That comes up multiple times.
Oh, here we go.
That's what I was going to say. That's the answer.
Classic Star Trek technobabble.
It's biobabble this time. Why do I have to eat 70,000 calories every day?
Why am I hungry every second?
Life is pain. Why did you make me?
They make clothes for him like every 5 minutes.
Just go back to the replicator every time.
I assume they're very flexible,
Just give him a stretchy
clothes.
jumpsuit.
But we
Yeah.
saw
So
him in
like at the end
different
of the day,
clothes.
he's got like he's walking around and the clothes
They
are
just
like
recycle it.
ill-fitting, stretching beyond belief.
Oh,
Only when there's cheese involved.
Oh, that's a good dog. Archer, Porthos isn't a boy. Why are you saying he?
It's
Porthos
exactly
is a
like
girl dog.
it's exactly like Sim here. He just eats and sleeps. Doesn't fetch.
No, it's a statue of Zephram Cochrane. Sim.
It's a freshly cleaned Sephram Cochrane.
Oh yeah, because he.
Oh no,
Well,
wait, the
no, he
stabbing
didn't-
never happened,
yeah.
did it?
Never happened. Except, wait, he stabbed him with the bottom side, but the bottom side has this big flat plinth.
I think it was snapped.
Maybe. What do you mean? You started out as a pilot, man.
yeah, he wanted to be a captain. Wait, where's the shuttlecraft in the launch bay?
They sent it away so he could
Why did-
practice.
Why did
I want
Archer
to fly
bring
a
his
ship in here. Get that shuttlecraft out.
I
Do
mean,
something.
theoretically, this could be the rear launch bay where they don't have anything.
They always had 4. Anyway, why? Question: why did he bring this toy with him from when he was a kid? We saw this in like the beginning, the pilot,
Because
right?
it's, yeah,
Playing
it's
with it.
important to his personality.
It goes
No,
whoosh.
wait. Is that toy CG? It looks CG.
Yes.
Why? They have RC drones and stuff in 2006 or 2004.
Poor
Okay, now they
Toads.
transition to the real prop so they can pick it up. I guess they just couldn't make something that would fly believably.
Yeah.
In that shape.
Yeah. It would be it would be theoretically possible nowadays. You would have to paint out the propellers though.
You had to
You could have
what?
just had it on strings, but it was going underneath.
Yes, you should have it on the
the-
strings. Yes, but I mean, you could do
It was totally CG.
I know you would do it if totally CG still today. But I'm just saying that with better drone design nowadays, you could theoretically make it and just paint out the propellers.
Sim wouldn't recognize him, right? Because Sim doesn't have a memory of looking like that.
Yeah.
He's Trip.
He is.
It is interesting they went with the idea that humans transfer all of our memories and genetics, which doesn't make any sense, and is interesting for the plot of the episode.
Some kind of copy.
He's a simulant, a simulation.
He's a fake.
Every second of his existence, he's being flooded with years of memories.
So when they kill him, he feels like he's in his 30s. So he lived a decent amount of life. Kinda.
You won't feel it because you're gonna die.
Well, Florus has told Archer that it won't kill him.
Now, alternatively, we could have just like kept him unconscious for the duration. Oh,
But
there we
then it'd
go.
be like,
That
Oh,
would
no,
have been
that's not
easier.
cool.
That you wouldn't have got attached to him. You wouldn't feel bad about it. You'd take the part and throw away the rest like a used wrapper.
Well, we could harvest the other organs.
Yeah, why
We
don't they
could
keep
use
the
all of them.
rest just in case?
Yeah.
oh,
What just happened?
a little twitch in the stream.
Hang on. I got out of sync because I pressed a button. There we go. I fixed it.
Never push buttons.
This teenager is hitting on this grown woman.
This grown woman in her 60s.
Oh,
No, it's because you're a kid. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
He doesn't even sound like he's totally hit puberty. How old is he supposed to be? He looks like he's 18 or 19, but he sounds like 14.
he's a simulated being, you know? I mean,
This guy's weird. I wouldn't hang out with him either. Can we not just impulse and leave?
I think they are trying to impulse a bit about this large field.
Could they go back the way they came?
They
Or
ended
could
up
they
quite
have
far
it's too late
into it.
now? All right. No more guest actors. We don't need them. And he's going to stay this age for the rest of the episode. A full half of the episode he doesn't
Has
age.
he remembered about his sister yet?
Probably, but it's not really his sister, so who cares? Yeah, just tow it.
So yeah, the impulse engines are apparently offline as well.
Were they offline at the beginning before it started building up? What happened?
Not sure. I think they might be powered by the warp engine at the moment.
So anyway, how do you guys feel about Taco Bell? I don't know.
Oh no.
I had some Taco Bell today, and I'll have some later too.
Wow.
I got my taco pass. I should have more than one taco pass. That way I can get more than one taco a day. That'd be good.
You could get 8 taco passes with 8 different apps installs. And then show up and say, hi, I have mobile orders for Billy, Jimmy, Tim, Larry. And just get a bunch of tacos.
Is this a camera angle or is DePaul leaning forward?
I don't think DePaul's leaning.
It looked like she was leaning forward.
Because he loves you, DePaul. Why are you even asking? You would know. You made DePaul sad. But now, if DePaul likes Trip and wants to pursue a relationship, she should be very eager to kill this man. Because then she can save Trip. Does memories include muscle memory or just knowing stuff? You know, despite the fact that Sim is growing 30 years in 4 days, it's actually a pretty slow episode. Not too much is happening. It's pretty chill. I feel like there's an outtake here, but I don't remember what it is. This feels just... Wait. If we can do this, can we just go out with the shuttles, because they have phasers, and shoot all of the ship? Just blast it all off.
They do need to just tow themselves out.
They could do a little digging. Granted, they probably can't shoot into the warp core or wherever it's building up in the manifolds. That might be a bad strat.
So the shuttles themselves have grapple arms.
Yes.
Since when?
Since now, don't worry about it. Why not give them a grappler?
Or 1/8,
You
as
should say
everyone knows it.
March, not now. No, in reality, them coming out of warp would have totally slowed them to 0.
God, that's got to be a lot of static friction. That thing's not moving at all, and
Yeah.
they're in space. How are you not moving at all? Deutschland. That was a lot of show audio. I couldn't hear anything you said. It was just all show.
Sorry, I said it was science. That's why.
Ah, come on. They're expendable. Screw them. Oh no, it worked. Everything's fine.
So it took them a
Smoky.
lot to get going, and then
What is
it's
the
alright.
smoke?
Sweat.
Vaporized sweat?
Yep. It's a sweaty moment right
Pretty
there.
gross. Are you sure you don't want to keep polling? Just for safety?
Yeah, it just could be difficult in the engines, and the shuttle pods end up covered as well.
Oh, Flux actually looks like he's been crying. Now we know he's gonna die. They were just gonna get the tissue and then he was gonna live out the rest of his days, however many it was. But oh, now we actually gotta kill him.
It seems to have died in another few days anyway.
Yeah, screw
It's
him.
not that much of a moral difference.
Well, the real moral issue is gonna come when Sim starts talking about a procedure that could make him age normally.
Yes.
See, even Sim's kind of okay with it as it is. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna die anyway. The Valandran Circle. It's a very fancy name. God, Phlox is just... Is Phlox evil? Is he the bad guy? He advocates for genocide. He's withholding information that could save this guy's life.
And then it suddenly flakes off for no reason whatsoever.
Now this ship has so much armor.
It's all flaked off now.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I guess it's magnetically drawn to the rest of the cloud.
But it was more magnetically drawn to the ship than the cloud, otherwise it would have collected on the ship.
Well, but when it was inside the cloud, it was equally drawn to the cloud in all directions.
I suppose.
And the ship was an extra thing.
This now reminds me of the Stargate Atlantis episodes where they turn Trinair into a human from a wraith. Yeah, it's the same way.
Yes.
It does make it easier, yes, Sim. Thanks for asking. Why does he have that diving helmet? What is that? So what you're saying is, if Phlox had started this process earlier, we could have tried both solutions.
Yes.
Give him the enzyme, see if it works. If it doesn't, kill him.
Ooh, ouch.
Needs to complete this mission. He actually grew a 5 o'clock shadow, unlike Picard, where they just took some black makeup and they rubbed it on his cheeks.
Well, I'm pretty sure they only did that because there was some, like, scheduling problem. And
They did it in another episode, too. They did it in multiple episodes. I just don't think Patrick Stewart can grow a 5 o'clock shadow.
Maybe. Well, he grows one in Chain of Command. That's a real one.
I think
he's
that's
a
another
prisoner of
black makeup
Vicardi's.
one, too.
I'm pretty sure that's real hair in that one.
There was one in an episode I recently watched where he had a 5 o'clock shadow, and it was makeup again. What episode was it? But you're right. The one in Chain of Command looks to be a real one, but see, it's white, and those other episodes where it's makeup, it's black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think another one is Attached, where he's like stuck with Beverly on a planet.
Yeah. It might be. I watched one recently that was either at the end of season 3 or beginning of season 4 where he had a makeup 5 o'clock shadow again.
You're just gonna run off into the expanse without the enzyme. Wait, what? Wait, but what about that episode where Trip and Reed were stuck in a shuttle pod
So-
together for like a week and a half?
They
Doesn't have
probably did what
toilets?
the Apollo astronauts had to do, which was they had these little Mylar Ziploc bags that they had to poo into that had antiseptic gel, and then you had to knead that gel into the poo so it doesn't keep outgassing and pop the bag.
Why did you
Gross.
provide so much information there?
Don't know.
Why Yuzo raises towards Gagarins?
I'm not. They just got what they deserved. Fair's fair.
Yes, let's enslave those children because they're great grandparents.
Were they enslaved or were they just like subclass of
They
people?
weren't enslaved. They were just not allowed to read and write.
And they only had, a few rights, and people could lynch them at will.
Yeah, they had more rights under human domain than humans had under Skagarans. So really, humans were the good guys.
Yeah, nope. None of that sounds true.
I mean, we just watched the episode.
Did he just swear on my Star Trek?
Oh,
He can't do that.
why does it keep starting on the big diving bell? Like, that thing's been in
don't
frame
know.
far too much.
It's been in the series since episode 1. It's always there, lurking. Also, what is that hook above his pillows?
So you can
Does he
bang
hang
your
his
head when you
hat?
get up in the morning.
What? Yeah, it just means he can't like lean back on his bed.
I think it's a lamp.
Doesn't look like a lamp. It looks like a coat hanger.
Now, see, like, I feel like she
That
could
thing
do
on the
more.
far side is a lamp, but like right above his
Diving
pillows.
bells there again.
It's always there.
Ooh.
Oh, and he has an actual real bell up right above his bed
Oh.
for some reason. Right there. It's like it went behind Paul's head.
Wow. Wow.
I don't care about the kiss. Go back to the bell. Ah, fine.
They found him a jumpsuit that's the same as the normal jumpsuit, but different color.
Yeah,
Where do they get these jumpsuits?
from space. Yeah, it's easy to be a good father when you only have to deal with the baby phase for a solid 30 minutes. You gotta skip all the hard parts.
Yes, explicitly. So this is what you're meant to do explicitly.
Two
Convenient to have
Vicks.
that concrete a reason to exist.
In 2 Vicks, the doctor refused to execute a man. Phlox is totally into it. What if he just stabbed Trip to save himself? It's like, well, now you have to save me. You need an engineer. And now he gets the normal jumpsuit. It's gotta be very disturbing for Trip, seeing his own corpse.
Yeah, no kidding.
He wakes up and they're like, "Let's go to the funeral."
So
What? Whose funeral?
Your funeral.
Well,
obviously they can do
Sorry.
this because they changed the new torpedoes. They wouldn't have been able to do it before.
they just shot a rocket at him.
Wait, no. I hope they can make more of those casings and they're not just wasting a torpedo because they only have so many.
Yeah.
They need all of them for this mission. All right, so
Ooh,
that's
it's another time.
Similitude.
It's a time travel episode next week.
I wouldn't mind being shot into the sun. That'd be pretty cool.
Next week is Carpenter Street. Is that right? Let's see. Next week is, Carpenter Street, where the Vulcan Science Directorate has determined that time travel is impossible.
This
They'd
time
love
to
to do
Poe
that.
sees that it's possible.
And
In
then
person.
there's Chosen Realm, where there's a bunch of religious, crazy zealot people who worship a bunch of spheres.
Cat.
And then there's
Oh, hold
Proving
on.
Ground. Oh, is that the new cat?
This is Revan Oppenheimer, for I have become Death Destroyer.
Evan Oppenheimer. Dark Lord of the Sith.
I mean, he's trying to murder my hoodie, so yes.
Okay. Oh, and the last episode next week is
Hey,
Proving
don't-
Ground with Commander Shran.
Nice.
People on YouTube can't see it, but it looks like a good cat to me.
And he's trying to
Yeah.
destroy everything.
Unfortunately,
last
people on YouTube, if only you had clicked on the Discord link in the description to join the voice chat, you could see the lovely cat. Cats, plural. There's 2 cats. Maybe the reason the cat is trying to
Is it
kill you is
the-
because you're shaking it.
Is it the murder one?
Yeah, that's the murder cat.
Oh.
All right, stream's over. You YouTube people can go do whatever you want. We're gonna do the cat. Well, we're gonna watch the cat.
See
Yay.
stream.
Good kitty.